Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking CPC Technology and the future of the cloud. Back on July 14th, 2025, CPC launched a massive, highly coordinated campaign. And it wasn't just about selling software, no. They were proposing a complete paradigm shift in how we actually interact with the digital world. Let's get right into their core arguments. Okay, let's dive into this. Right out of the gate, CPC uses a really powerful statement to set the stakes. They say the foundation of tomorrow's economy isn't physical, it's digital. By kicking things off here, they immediately elevate the conversation. It's no longer just some simple tech upgrade. It's a fundamental necessity for survival. They're basically telling us the ground is shifting right under our feet, and to participate in the future, your digital infrastructure is every bit as vital as your physical assets. Taking a look at their messaging, specifically from their LinkedIn push, you can see exactly how CPC positions themselves. They're very explicit that they are not merely writing code. Instead, they frame themselves as the engineers literally building the fundamental architecture of modern digital infrastructure. They talk about using modular systems and something they call the elastic scale of C-Cloud to help enterprises scale, adapt, and stay resilient in a crazy competitive global market. They really position their tools as the essential building blocks for this new digital economy. But to really grasp their proposed solution, we have to understand how CPC views the current landscape. And, well, they argue that the modern digital infrastructure we all rely on, it's fundamentally flawed. It's packed with hidden vulnerabilities. Rather than just hyping up new features, they want us to realize that the systems currently running our businesses and holding our data are just inherently fragile. So they're stepping up and positioning their new architecture as the necessary shield against that danger. The messaging here draws some very clear battle lines. Renting versus owning. Think about it. Right now, the vast majority of modern enterprises essentially rent their server space. That means a single localized server outage at some major provider can literally take down half the internet. That is a massive vulnerability. CPC argues this renting model leaves you continually exposed to extreme external volatility and, of course, those soaring third-party fees. On the flip side, they present digital ownership as the absolute only path to true independence and long-term security. And this philosophy doesn't just stay at the enterprise level, it trickles right down to the individual practitioner. CPC outlines a core mission to empower everyday people to transition from being passive consumers of technology to active creators. They make the point that true professional fulfillment comes from actually solving systemic, real-world challenges. To make that happen, they're focused on tearing down technical barriers with the goal of making robust cloud architecture accessible to everyone, not just a handful of tech giants. It's a vision built heavily on giving users their agency back. So, having laid out these severe vulnerabilities of renting and the need for us to become creators rather than just consumers, the messaging pivots directly to the actual tech CPC Technology scaling toolkit. They pitch this technology as the ultimate bridge to professional and business growth. The promise is that they're taking all that overwhelming complexity of digital infrastructure and packaging it up into a streamlined toolkit. This allows you to secure your systems and host your operations without jumping over all those traditional, restrictive hurdles. So the crucial point is how exactly CPC defines this concept they keep pushing. What does digital ownership actually mean in this context? Well, the source text gives us a super precise definition. It means possessing complete authority over three distinct pillars: your data, your nodes, and your operational workflows. They claim that with their technology, they are handing over the keys to total sovereignty. It's really about building a secure cloud environment that guarantees absolute control and shields modern enterprises from all that external volatility we just talked about. Let's break down the specific tools they're marketing to achieve this sovereignty. The campaign heavily features three core components. First, there's the C-Cloud, which they highlight for its elastic scale and enterprise-grade power. Second, their modular design systems. This suggests a ton of flexibility and customization for the user. And third, the CPC Super App. By combining these tools with their training initiatives, CPC claims to put fast, secure, and infinitely scalable cloud power directly into the hands of daily users. They are fundamentally trying to democratize enterprise-level capabilities for everyone. And this brilliantly illustrates the human element of their vision. They used a cross-platform approach to show different angles of the same message. While LinkedIn was all about enterprise resilience and systemic challenges, their Instagram push leaned heavily into energy and community. They talk about the energy of building something that will outlast you and shine a spotlight on the changemakers at CPC Technology. It's a much more visceral appeal, really inviting the audience to claim their place in the digital landscape and literally design your tomorrow. Ultimately, CPC's vision demands immediate adoption. Their messaging shifts from these big visionary statements to direct imperatives. We're talking phrases like build your system today, take control of your digital destiny, and claim your digital space.
They really emphasize that the future of technology isn't some distant abstract dream. It is being coded and deployed right now. They heavily push the idea that the user deserves a seat at the table, and they frame taking immediate action as an absolute necessity if you don't want to get left behind.
To make sure that seat at the table is actually easy to claim, they lay out a totally frictionless user journey. Step 1 is simple. Secure system access by clicking through to their provided links, specifically utilizing a system access payment portal. Step 2 brings you right into a personalized dashboard hosted at gbt21c.com. And finally, step 3 is where the magic happens. You actually deploy the C Cloud and Super App to build out your own secure cloud environment. They explicitly map out the exact logistical path from first exposure to actually owning your digital infrastructure. As we wrap up this explainer on CPC Technology's July 2025 push, everything we've looked at, the transition from renting to owning, the push to become creators, the deployment of the C Cloud, it all funnels down to one incredibly provocative thought. The whole vision is ultimately designed to make you stop and ask yourself, in the digital age, who truly owns your infrastructure? If it isn't you, CPC argues, then you are vulnerable. It's a really powerful narrative about data sovereignty that for sure leaves us with a lot to think about regarding our own digital footprints. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning the architecture of the digital world around you.